I've got a treat for you today, friends. We're gonna make magic with the light and darkness dragons. Yay! Who doesn't love a little dragon magic, am I right? But first, before we get into that, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Hannah, and I help people to own their powers and step into the driver's seat of their own lives. Today, we're gonna be doing that by doing something a little more spiritual, a little more esoteric. We're gonna work with light and darkness dragons to initiate change in our life. Specifically, what we're gonna work with is unity consciousness versus separation consciousness. So if you've been feeling maybe a little more isolated than usual, disconnected, just feel like you're craving connection with other beings, this is going to be the perfect ritual for you. And the darkness and light dragons are happy to assist. They volunteer as tribute to help you out. As of filming this, the veil is very, very thin. It's my favorite time of year. It's like Halloween, Samhain, Day of the Dead, 11/11 portal time. Very, very potent energy. It's easier than ever to work with the other side, i.e. dragons and guides and deities and the like. And regardless of when you're watching this video, don't like run away and be like, oh, this isn't for me because I'm not watching it at that time. No. This is a cool thing. So the dragons told me right before I started filming, they're like, yo, because you're filming it during that time, when people watch this video, they do this ritual, it's going to have like the same effects as if they were doing it during the time that you filmed it. Because time, my friend, doesn't exist. It's an illusion. And I'm actually working with a time dragon right now. And it's really cool to see the effects and stuff and kind of play with what we thought was immovable, I guess, in the 3D. It's like, you don't time travel, right? That doesn't happen. But I'm learning it's quite malleable and I'm having fun with it. So they want you to know, no matter when you're watching this, the energy of this video, the energy of this ritual, it's going to give you a boosted effect in connecting with the other side. So what do you need for this ritual? 1 dragon. Lots and lots of dragons, friend. Duh. So don't freak out if you don't have any of your own like darkness or light dragons to work with. That's totally cool. You've got 2 options if that's the case for you. 1 is that you can just call upon like darkness and light dragons in general, and they will just come and help you. I don't know exactly who you're going to call in if you do that. And if that sketches you out, you can try option number 2, which is you can work with my light and darkness dragons, Soren, the darkness dragon, and Shersh, the light dragon. I talk about them more in my videos on darkness and light dragons, which I will link up here because that's probably going to help you like get to know Soren and Shersh a little bit more and how you can work with them and what their energy feels like so that you're more easily able to do this ritual. Aside from that, I would recommend 1, anything that you use to like kind of clear your space and kind of set up a sort of witchy vibe, whether that's like sage spray or incense or a candle or a wand, anything like that. Get any of your cool witchy stuff and bring that. 2, a mirror. And 3, a pen and paper, or of course, pencil and paper, whatever, just something to write on. So now that you've got all that, number 1 is that you want to clear your space, okay? First off, you want to find a private space where you're not going to be interrupted because that really will mess with the vibe and the flow of your ritual. You want to be somewhere where you're not going to be interrupted. Whether you got to go out into nature to do that, do what you got to do, my friend. But once you found your spot, you want to clear the space. And you can, again, use sage spray for that or use actual sage, some sort of incense, anything that works for you. But also don't feel like you need to have anything in the physical world to clear your space. You can do it yourself. You can just call upon your guides, your dragons, to kind of burn away any dense energy in the space, anything you don't want there. You can ask them to clear the space. You can call on air dragons to like imbue it with like new life and like fresh air. You can call on the water dragons to like clean it up, purify it. Fire dragons to just burn anything you don't want there. Earth dragons to just kind of ground you into nature, and so on and so forth. So 2, once you've done this, if you haven't already called upon the dragons to help you clear the space, now you're going to call upon the dragons in number 2, specifically the light and the darkness dragons. Of course, it doesn't have to be exclusive only for light and darkness dragons. If you have other types of dragons that you work with and that are on your team, you can call upon them as well. They will also support, but it is the light and darkness dragons that will be taking the stage today. 3, you're gonna meditate with the darkness dragons. So you can meditate for a bit. Something I like to do when I'm doing witchy rituals is I will play a song. And so then I know when the song is over, then I can come out of like my meditation. And that song kind of keeps me in the meditation. It keeps me going on a little meditative journey there, a little shamanic journey. So you can try that, or no song, or you can set a timer, just whatever feels natural for you. You want to meditate and you want to call the darkness dragons in to guide you. Now, once you've done this, you and the darkness dragons are going to go down, okay? Darkness dragons are all about the subconscious, about going deep down. They're like shamans. So you can imagine that you're going into the earth, maybe that you're falling down a hole, you're going into a cave, something where you're just going down, you're sinking down. It could even be water. So you can allow the darkness dragons to kind of guide you and lead you wherever your imagination takes you, and just roll with it. And then when you feel like you guys are in a kind of grounded space and you've spoken with them, gotten what you've needed, you can come out of the meditation, and then you're going to look, number 4, at your mirror. So as you look into the mirror with the support of the darkness dragons, you're going to ask, what am I not seeing that is keeping me disconnected right now? What am I not seeing that's keeping me disconnected right now? Then you're just going to look at yourself in the mirror, and this is a form of scrying, actually, where you're just going to observe. Maybe you'll see something, maybe you'll get a feeling, maybe you'll get a hit of knowledge, a download, that's claircognizance. Maybe you'll hear something, maybe the darkness dragons will whisper something to you. But just sit, I would say, for a few minutes, just looking into that mirror and see what arises for you. After that, that's when you're going to pull out your paper and your pen, and you're going to write down whatever came up. Know that when we write stuff down, that's a form of integrating, of grounding the energy from the higher realms. So it's very important, even if it seems kind of unnecessary, it's important for you to integrate, to write it down. Later, if you feel like it, you can of course dispose of that, you can burn it, whatever. But for now, just write it down so you can reflect on it later. Now you're going to go meditating with the light dragons. Yay! And as the yang to the darkness dragons yin, the light dragons are going to take you up. They're going to take you high into the higher realms. So you can imagine you're just following the light dragons into the higher realms, into the cosmos, whatever feels good to you. Whether you see like this sort of heavenly scene where you're in the clouds, where you're in light, or where you're just in outer space, you're in the cosmos, whatever feels natural for you, just let the light dragons lead you. Again, you want to meditate for as long as feels good, whether that's the duration of a song or set time that you put a timer for, or just letting your imagination run wild for as long as it wants to, whatever feels good. Then, as with the darkness dragons, number 6, when you feel like you've had enough time with the light dragons, you're going to come back to earth, you're going to come out of the meditation, and you're going to look at that mirror. You're going to ask, what does the part of me that is always connected look like? That's it. And just as with the darkness dragon question, you're going to stare into the mirror for at least a few minutes and see what downloads you get about that question. And then you're going to integrate that by writing it down. So finally, 3 is a magical number of creation, creating new realities and the like. So you're going into meditation 3 times. The third and final time, I want you to call upon both the light dragons and the darkness dragons to imbue you with integration. That's the word of the day, integration. You want to integrate your light side with your dark side. So yet again, you're just going to go on a sort of meditative journey for however long feels good to you. And know that the dragons are going to help imbue that integration. All you have to do is set the intention. As I'm always saying, your intention is magic. Your intention is power. Just by setting your intention to imbue yourself with integration, to work with the light and darkness dragons in that way, it's done. It's really that simple. And so all the other stuff that happens in the meditation, that's just kind of an elaboration to help your conscious mind start to make sense of it all. But know that all you have to do is set that intention and it's done. And they will do it, and you might feel some sort of tingling as this happens, like as they activate your light codes and stuff. You could have some really cool sensations. And if you get anything, I'm really curious to hear about it in the comments below. When you're ready to end that meditation, you can say, I choose integration. And I want you to say that out loud 3 times, because the words we speak have energy. They have a power to them. We create reality through the words we speak. They're like seeds that we plant, and eventually they take physical form. So know that when you speak it aloud, it may feel silly, but it's going to tell you a lot. Like if you feel really awkward about it, you feel contracted about saying that, know that there's still some resistance there to integration, and the dragons can kind of help you purge that and work with that and heal through that. If it feels like powerful and strong, that's how you know like you've really stepped into it. So I would encourage you, if you have to say it more than 3 times just to get to that point where you're feeling good about it, do that. But you want to feel strong in your intention of integration. So you can end the ritual and you can just kind of reverse the process, clearing the space. You can kind of close your circle with the dragons, just ask them to close the energy. You can ask anything that's not yours to just leave your energetic field and be on with your day. Anyone that's worked with magic knows the ritual is only the beginning. So as you go about your life after doing this ritual, for especially the days and the weeks following, I want you to notice 2 things. 1, you're going to notice the darkness, the shadows that come up. So this primarily takes the form of triggers. Notice where you're triggered, especially on this topic of unity versus separation, connection versus disconnection. Notice where you're feeling triggered, where you're feeling isolated and like. And instead of reacting and freaking out and attaching to the trauma of disconnection and isolation, when you notice that happening, then you call upon the darkness dragons to help you integrate that into yourself. Similarly, when you're noticing good things are happening to you and there's like a resistance to good things, because let me tell you, if you're in my collective, you probably struggle to receive. Giving is probably no problem for you, but when it comes to receiving things, you feel like you don't deserve nice things. Like you're like they're for someone else. And there's almost like this mistrust that happens of nice things, because you're just like, oh, when's it going to go south, right? When are all these things going to leave my life? When's it going to blow up? So notice when that happens, that trigger happens, when you do get nice things. And in those moments, you call upon the light dragons to help you open yourself, open your heart and your energy to allowing that in and integrating that as well. So there you have it, friends. That is our light and darkness dragon ritual. I hope that sounds fun for you. Like I said, let me know in the comments below what results you get, because I am super curious to hear if this is actually working for you. And if this is something that you are like interested in doing, but you kind of want some guidance or some support, or you just want to amplify the effects by working with others, I would definitely recommend you join the House of the Spirit Dragon community. And that also will be in the description below. That's just $33 a month. You can cancel anytime. And that gets you access to live calls with me and the community 2 or 3 times every month, as well as a private forum where you can ask any questions on this stuff that you may have. And it's just really awesome. It's a really powerful space already. And I'm excited to invite in more people and see what magic we're able to create together. So as usual, if you stuck around to the end of this video, me and the dragons love you forever. And of course, we love you forever anyways. And we would love you forever even more if you could like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be updated when I post on my super erratic schedule. This isn't an ego thing. This is a let's help more people find out about dragons thing. Let's help the algorithm along. Let's do a little algorithm magic there. So we would super love you for that. We would super appreciate you. And of course, we're always loving and appreciating you regardless, and sending you good vibes on your journey, my friends. Until next time, stay powerful.